I'm going to take a side detour here for just a second because it just brings up something that we talk about a lot, which is all of our best ideas come from time on trail. The more time we spend on trail, the more time we spend using products, we come up with better and better ideas. And when I look at something like a short, it's like, man, there's so many shorts out there. There's so many people making shorts, yet still there's so many, let's call them suits behind desks, making decisions on what short models need to be rolled out and, or maybe designing the shorts themselves too, that maybe aren't spending enough time in the shorts, or maybe the people that are spending the time in the shorts don't get enough say in what gets actually to roll out the door. That it just kind of blows my mind. It just kind of blows my mind that there actually haven't been some better shorts created. And there's different bodies, there's different, so like, I don't want to sound too biased or anything like that, but yeah, when I was like just looking backwards now and I'm looking at that, I'm like, it just felt like there was no reason we couldn't find a really good pair of shorts for what we're looking to do. Yet I spent a lot of money on shorts and I was never satisfied with.
Yeah, and it was the process. I really like looking back on it. It's really satisfying the very natural progressive process that we took to just even deciding that making a pair of shorts is something that we want to do, because it doesn't mean that we tried every single pair of shorts out there, but at a point we realize, okay, well, we're spending all this time doing all this running, we're developing a fast pack, and we're learning and becoming more and more proficient at this fast packing thing, and realizing all the things that it entails, from like the materials and the distances you're running, the terrain that you're covering, the mileage, the physical exertion, and we really were learning that all of that comes into play, or it all of that influences what we were feeling like we wanted to implement into a pair of shorts. Because it's a very progressive story of just as we used it, we realized, we're not just going for an hour run. We're not just going for a 2-hour run. I'd say the full potential of these shorts was, executing a multi-day fast packing trip. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like the maximum use case, or, what we would want, the full potential of the pair of shorts we wanted. That's the full potential we want it to reach. And it's just a lot different than even somebody running a marathon, which is, that's a substantial physical effort, but fast packing is just a bit different, and as all of this is happening, it's kind of shaping, kind of all these requirements, or these ideal, characteristics for what we would want, and so when you're going out into the backcountry, and for us that's mountains and desert, you're exposing your body to more environmental elements. You're exposing the clothing you wear to extended exposure to these same environmental elements, and I guess we really just started noticing that what we wear actually, it was mattering. It really mattered, because on a lot of times, we different guys wearing this short or that short, sometimes somebody would be getting chafage and somebody wouldn't, or somebody might get a hole or rip out something on one pair of shorts and somebody didn't. And
certain people were way more susceptible to issues.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So like for me, I'm a massive sweater. I'm a very heavy sweater, which then bleeds straight down into increased in chafing, versus I feel like Derek hardly sweats, and I feel like he's one who rarely would have issues with chafing compared to me, where it's like that's a primary focus. When I start running and covering 30 miles a day with extra sweat and moisture going on there, like it's not comfortable really quickly if you've got the wrong gear. It becomes a major pain point. and not to derail what you're going on
good.
there, but there's like I would just second all of that. As we push farther and farther, it's like what we always say is a good piece of gear is a gear that can almost go unnoticed, and we were noticing, to say the least.
Right. Yeah, and it's again, it goes into a lot of the issues weren't something that you or I or anybody else is going to really notice after, like I said, an hour-long run. You go run 6 miles, and a lot of the issues don't surface until like the end of a full day of covering, I don't know what, 20, 25 miles in the mountains, and, where you're mixing running, a lot of hiking, but then you're carrying gear, you're filtering water, you're exposed to rain, you're exposed to heat and sun. That's where we started noticing all these different elements and influences.
So speaking on what we were maybe unhappy with, I would say from what I recall, the things that I was unhappy with in the pieces that I was purchasing and trying out were, number one, like I had to reduce the amount of chafing. So I was trying liners in a lot of the shorts, and I was trying, briefs. I was trying the boxer lengths. I was trying, a lot of them had different materials in them. So some of them would start out really great, and then once they got saturated and wet, they would start to bag out the same and then create chafage. So that was a major pain point. I remember some of them I was like, hey, this one's okay, it's working pretty well, but it didn't have any pockets on it. And so that became just a real big annoyance. Plus like just little things like that. Some of them were really light and maybe even affordable, but were like 5-inch running shorts, and it was like, okay, these aren't too bad for me, as long as I pair them with the right underwear underneath. But then, like I don't want to go anywhere in these. Like I go straight to the trailhead and straight home, because I'm uncomfortable in public, essentially in them. And anyway, so that was just a few of the things that I remember right off. But for me, a lot of it had to do with just comfort over the miles that I was really aiming for.